Take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do.
We had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce-back jobs, a bounce-back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
All right. Welcome back to Wake Up America Weekend. Presidents Donald Trump and Joe Biden were sparring there, if you want to call it sparring. I don't think it would be even fair to say that they were sparring. It looked more like one was punching and one was getting hit. But that was a CNN debate on Thursday night over who should take blame for the economy. So let's get right into it with the president of the Stellmark Business Development Consultants, Hillary Fordwich, along with the host of the Money Runner podcast, David Nelson. Welcome to both of you. I appreciate having you on, Hillary. I'll jump right in. Who's right here? The pandemic did hit towards the end of Donald Trump's presidency, which did put a lot on Joe Biden's plate. But the president has been saying that we're doing great in spite of the prices continuing to go up. So who should we believe?
Well, we should just believe the facts. Let's look at inflation and look at actually what Senator Kennedy has said, which is he said that his constituencies, I love his phrase, are like a fish gutted. The American public has been gutted. It actually costs $1,000 more a month, just over $1,000, nearly $13,000 a year, just to be where we were. So the one question is, like Reagan asked, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? And last but not least, let's just look at the inflation numbers that weren't even at 2% prior to COVID during President Trump's administration versus 2022 when it was up to 9.1%. That is an economic fact. So let's believe the facts there, Michael.
David, you have no wonder what's in the you have to wonder, I should say, is what the heck's in the Kool-Aid that Biden administration is drinking? In spite of these prices and the facts that we just heard, these prices are crushing American families. It's hitting them hard in the wallet. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who's in charge of coming up with financial and economic policy for the nation, she seems completely out of touch. Watch this.
Secretary Yellen, have you been to the grocery store lately?
I sure have. I go every week.
It's sticker shock, isn't it? No. I just, when you look at shipping costs, those have come down. Global food commodity prices have also come down, but food prices still remain high. I know they're not rising at the rate that they were last year, but they're still up 20% from pre-COVID.
Okay, in case you missed it, she said she goes to the grocery store every week and does not feel the sticker shock. I'd love to know where she's shopping, because I think I should be shopping there. David, what's the disconnect here?
There is a disconnect. Look, consumer staples, the things we need every day, the pricing is inelastic. You still have to buy food. You still have to put gas in the car. And yes, inflation has come down from the 9%, the CPI, back in 2022. And we're actually approaching levels that we need to be. But if you're an American living paycheck to paycheck, that doesn't help you. Because, like Hillary said, prices are up about 20% from a couple of years ago. That's got to really hurt. Add the high cost of credit. Nobody ever talks about that, but a lot of Americans are being forced to live on their credit cards. That high cost of credit cuts across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Hillary, a paper co-written last year by former Federal Reserve Chief Ben Bernanke says that inflation is caused primarily by increases in global prices. Is there a way that the government can better insulate our country from these kinds of spikes?
Well, one of the things that, of course, President Trump has actually offered as part of his new platform is to raise tariffs on European car makers and other products coming in from other countries. And he's right. We should have the same tariffs as they tax us. If you go to Europe, you won't find many American cars. Why? Because their tariffs are at 10%. That's where he gets his 10% from. Yet we only tax the European cars at 2.5%. That's the current tariffs, 2.5% versus 10%. It should be equal. And he's totally and utterly right. That's one thing we can do to protect American manufacturing as well as the American consumer.
30 seconds left, David. Based on what we've seen, who's better poised to help the American people with respect to their wallets, President Trump or President Biden?
I think the American people are going to make that decision. Hillary said it earlier. She said they're going to look at where they are now. They're going to realize that the inflation is really hurting them. Their wages are not keeping up, and they're going to look back to what it was like 4 years ago. They're going to make a vote, and I think we're going to find out very soon.
Well, there you go, Hillary Fordwich and David Nelson. Thank you very much. Always good to have you here on Wake Up America Weekend. We'll have you back soon.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, David.
Thank you.